What up, folks? All right, so I'm gonna presume they're over there, and I'm gonna start with my boy. So Cory and I go back a long time. We've known each other, I don't know, 10 years, and so he really is family. He really is, the brother I never wanted. Nah, he's crazy, but he's amazing, and he loves being a dad. And so, Cory Hardrict. We made a couple of movies together. We got some more to go. He ain't gonna let me forget it. Yeah. And then this is a newer friend and somebody who I respect and somebody I'm looking forward to shooting for this upcoming Father Noir, Lil Rel.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of people here. How y'all doing?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. Need coffee. So I heard Cody tell a little bit about Father Noir, but I'll back up. So I'm somebody that believes very much in creating the world that we want to see, but also creating the world that I want my kids to live in. And so in thinking about representation, which is what a lot of Black love was, where we didn't see enough of us, but we knew we were out there. We knew that we were loving families and the folks that we grew up in with church, where they had been together for longer than anybody remembered, yet we just didn't see those things on screen. And so when it came to being a father, it was a similar thing where I just did not see enough positive representation. And so I wanted to do what I could. And so I've been shooting this for 4 years, and I do a lot of stuff where I'm a writer and a director and a producer and blah, blah, blah. But this became a visual memoir where it was focused on the photography. The idea that an image is worth 1,000 words. And so that's where you can see a lot of them over there. And so the one with Cory and Cree is down there. And it's such a lovely moment. And it wasn't planned. He was actually helping Cree tie his shoe, but it's what fatherhood is. It's what being a parent is. And so that's what it was. And so for us, this is just talking about being dads, talking about happily raising our kids and being in their lives and what that looks like. And so I'll start with you. What kind of daddy are you?
What kind of daddy? If you want to know what kind of father I am, ask my kids. They're right there. The kids tell you the truth all day. So I'm a daddy when people are watching and when they're not watching. Those are the loves of my life. Come on, I know, Creep. My son's shy though. That's my little baby Cairo, my son. And like I say, my walk every day in life is to represent my children and how I conduct myself and what I say, because I always think about their future. I don't live in the moment because, my kids they're just everything to me, if y'all know what that means. So I always think long term of what's going to benefit them, what's going to help them, what's going to protect them. So that's why, I am what I am, and I do it all for my children. I love them, that's it. But, yeah, I'm proud to be a father. I'm proud to be a Black father. I'm proud that they can look up to me. I'm proud that they can say, Daddy got our back for life. So, yeah.
How about you?
Well, realistically, if you really want to know what type of dad I am, you kind of can watch my comedy specials because I talk about them a lot. But, honestly, I represent a lot of the Black men that was in my family. You know what I mean? My dad was in my life the whole time. And I wanted to mirror. Like I was one of those weird kids that was like 12 years old. Like I can't wait to be a father. And everybody like, shut up. Because I look forward to what I had as a child, and so like the type of dad I am, I think that makes me a lot different than some of them. Is that I don't come in with the toxic energy. You know what I'm saying? We talk more. I'm very honest with them. I try not to be that parent that make it look like I know everything, because I don't. Because I make mistakes. I make mistakes too. And that's one of the things I actually love doing with my kids. I started doing, like, when they first started having like those sibling fights. I used to tell them like true childhood stories. And one of the stories I actually told them that my dad didn't know the truth to it to this day. And they was like, okay, Dad, and they told their grandfather, and he called me because okay, I can tell y'all real quick. It was I grew up on the west side of Chicago, and we didn't have much money, so it was always very strict things we couldn't do. And so when you kind of black and poor, you find some little stuff that just really that's relaxing. We used to like to put our foot on the window. Me and my brothers have our feet on the window. There was something cool about it. Chicago is hot. We would put our feet on the window, and one day the window, they kept warning us, like, if you keep your foot on the window, it's going to break. You were like, all right, whatever. And it broke one day. And the reason why I told my kids the story, because they was fighting each other. And I'm like, y'all, all y'all got, okay? It's just y'all two. Y'all got to have each other's back. And I told them the story because I'm like, me and my brothers, let me tell y'all a story. The window broke, and we all came up with a plan. And this is a true story, and I hate I'm being this honest, but we blamed this crackhead named Jason.
Jason just caught a stray.
And he didn't even know if he did it or not, you know what I mean? Which is crazy. And so we said he threw a brick. He like, did, And so,
gaslighting Jason.
He did. And so they did step to him. My grandfather, my dad was like, hey, Jason, why you do that? He's like, I don't know what I did. I'm high. And so it's a true story. And so I tell the kids what happened, but I was just telling that me and my brothers, we kept, that was something we talked about, and and they told my father, and he called me. I'm 35 years old. He called me like, I need $40 for that window. I'm like, come on, bro. That's like, but that just an example of me letting them know that I'm not perfect, and it's always these little cool stories. It's like I always try to make myself this dad that, that you can come and talk to about anything without. And it's tough because you don't want to be judgmental as a parent, and sometimes you got to go outside and scream. You're like, oh, okay, you got a little boyfriend. That's cool. Okay, I'll be right back. And you're like, But at the same time, it's just being old, because now they're teenagers, and it's a whole nother, it's a whole nother thing now. But I always try to be an open dad and just being able to talk to them about anything.
How old are your kids? Or your
15, so here we go. 15, 14, and 7, okay? But then I have 4 bonus daughters that are 22, 21, 14, and 13. Yeah, it's happening.
That's a lot of kids.
It's a lot. But I always saw myself being that anyway, and so that's why, like, I had to be really successful. Living it out. But I love being a dad. Like, the dad life is and it's been very fun, even just stepping into this stepfather role. Like, even just the other day, it was our first real, because now we're all in one home, and I had a real heart-to-heart with the girls, and it was something I've been praying about and asking God about, but I just asked him, what are the expectations of me? Because sometimes you also want to let kids know you're not just putting up with them because you love their mama. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, I love y'all too. And so it was a beautiful heart to heart, especially when you have a heart to heart with all girls. It was a lot of, oh, but it was sweet, and I just wanted them to let me know, what I can bring to their lives, what they expect out of me, and it was just an honest conversation.
It's really cool. We're just up here talking about how much we love being dads in a room full of amazing people, and it's not something that I had growing up at all. Like, my dad wasn't around, and so the examples of what it meant to be a dad who was present, I just didn't see it. And so, sort of like with Black Love, like, there are a lot of parallels for me with Black Love and Father Noir, where I didn't grow up seeing enough of what it really took to be in a relationship. And so one of the reasons I created Black Love, you gonna get in trouble with my wife if you get in front of that. One of the reasons Cody and I created Black Love, and one of the things that was really special for me as we were doing it, especially the first season, when we started Black Love and we were engaged. And I knew that I didn't want to get divorced, but I didn't know enough about marriage. And so I wanted to learn from other people. And so with Father Noir, I knew that I wanted to be an amazing dad. I knew that I love being with my kids and just being able to see other people who have done it before me and then to share that so we can be reminded, oh no, there are people that love being a dad. And not just love it, they prioritize it. Because you can love something, but if you don't actually put the work in, then it doesn't really matter. It's just lip service. And so making sure that that actually shows up. And for me, like the way that I do it is that I'm incredibly present. We're busy. There's a lot of stuff going on. But when I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. I don't care about anything else. And so it's just, again, for me, an amazing thing to see all these people here who are excited about fatherhood.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, give it up for all the fathers here, you know.
Shout out to all the dads.
And the mothers.
And mothers, and mothers, sorry, and mothers. We can't do it without y'all, but yeah, I love everything about being a dad. Like I said, I'm gonna tell y'all, it's funny, this morning I was struggling with trying to figure out my daughter's hair because her bonnet fell off right in the middle of the night. Being real. So I had my boy cut my hair this morning, Kyle. He came through, you know, who's a friend of ours, barber, but he came through and he helped me try to get the gel to like slick the thing down on my daughter because I didn't know where to start, to be honest. But I said, it's going to be pictures there today, but that's what dads do by any means necessary. So we was trying to figure it out, and she turned, her hair's beautiful. It's laid down. Y'all wouldn't even know it. But we did that because when I'm with my children, I'm hands-on. There ain't nobody else taking care of them. It's all me, you know. So we may do 40 things in one day. Like I try to make them weekends feel like it's a lifetime, you know. And yeah, so.
Well, real quick, that's beautiful too, bro. Like
Yeah.
I think with especially having daughters too, like I think I had a video. It might still be up on my Instagram when I was trying to help Brittany with her hair. And I didn't know what I was doing at all. And she was just laughing the whole time. But those are moments she never will forget. You know what I mean? Like just even the effort of me just trying to show, even though I didn't know what I was doing. It was crazy. I think I was on a live and people was leaving comments, like, that baby is going to be ruined. You know, because I didn't know what I was doing. But I think that's another thing too. I think that's one of the things, you know, just for other dads or even young dads in here, effort goes a long way, man. Just try being present and putting some real effort in. Those are memories you don't forget, which is one of the things I actually extremely love about being a dad. And just real quick, just me and Cory been friends. You know, we've been homies just more recently, maybe like the last year or so. And you know, I don't know. You know, how honest can we have a conversation? We can be honest. Yeah.
All the way. You can be honest.
So, you know, I knew he was going through some things, and I just wanted to reach out to another dad and another brother and we just talked. And we met at like one of the little sports bars I like to go to, and we just sat there and just talked. And, you know, one of the things I loved about talking with, I love how much he loved his children. And I think that's a beautiful thing too, where we don't talk about enough of, like, no matter what us adults are going through, we gotta consider how they're seeing that. You know, and I just thought it was beautiful just for black men to and it was like we had a sports bar.
Sports bar, yeah.
Having like emotional conversations.
Right.
Trying to watch the Lakers game. We got tears coming out of there. They really love the Lakers.
It was just me and you. Somebody went by that window. They was like, what's going on up in there? It was just us.
Brothers smoking cigars and crying.
Yeah.
But and honestly, you know, it's one of the things I think that's been helping me be a better dad. Going through therapy has made me a better person, where I've been wanting to just build more friendships with other dads and other black men, where we can have these honest conversations and, you know, just and not just in that weird way, like if we watching sports and then we throw something out there to see how somebody take it. Like, man, LeBron shot that. I wish I could see my kids. Like, what? But we sat there and we were just talking, man, and it was just a beautiful thing just to talk. Cause I've been through a divorce, and that was one of the realest conversations I had to have with my kids at an early age. Especially, I told you I got a 7-year-old, so you know when the 7-year-old came up, and I had to have a real conversation with my kids, and it was kind of tough because it was the first time I think they ever looked at me like I saw disappointment in their face. And I had to be like, well, look, y'all gonna make mistakes, you know. Which is the truth. That's why I said, look, hey, I'm not perfect, you know. And so that's actually what started us on this cool journey we've been on since then, where they became my best friends. My daughter was like physically sick when I told her she had a little brother, you know. And that was, you know, wasn't from marriage. It was when we was divorced. So they had their own idea what they thought how kids came, and they only saw it through marriage. So they was like, what did you do? And so, but I'll never forget the first day we had Harlem, and he wouldn't stop crying, and both of them stayed up with me the whole night. And they was like 6 and 7. And, you know, I'll never forget when he went to sleep, it was the first time I think I've ever like cried in front of them, thanking them, because it felt like everybody else in my family and friends was all judging me. But those two little best friends of mine was like, yo, we got your back. And I think that's because I came to them honest that I made a mistake. And I don't know, that was one of my favorite dad moments in the world is when they stayed up with me until he went to sleep. And that's so funny about Brittany, because Brittany was the first one. She like physically looked sick when I told her I had an extra baby on the way. She's like, extra baby? You know, I didn't know how to say it. I didn't know what to say, you know. Extra baby? About the 7-year-old looking at extra baby. But, you know, I love the fact that, man, she gravitated to him so just like this big sister. It's almost like she was happy to have a new little brother because, you know, Brittany and Judah close to age. She was like, he get on my nerves, but he perfect. He gonna be who I want him to be. But it was just that beautiful moment of just being vulnerable in front of your kids and them being able to show up for you the way you show up for them. And that's one of my favorite memories.
That's
Yeah.
Thanks for the applause.
no, it's really sweet because there's often a sense of the idea that people know everything, or they've got to pretend like they know everything instead of also being willing to be vulnerable with your kids and teaching them and modeling that behavior. And so whether it's as a man or as a husband or as a friend, and it matters. And so I imagine some of that came from seeing you do those types of things beforehand as well. It also made me think about something that I hadn't thought about in a while with my kids is there's a beautiful innocence with them. Like when they're young and their lives are in your hands. And so for me, I believe in living my life with integrity, but I also know that I've got these little kids that are looking to me to look at how I treat their mother, to look at how I treat other people. And there's a responsibility in being aware of that because whatever you do, they think it's right. And so if you're out there talking crazy, if you're out there doing whatever, okay, that's what my dad's doing. And so we have to be that example while also being human. And so, what do we say? No.
I agree with you. Everything Tommy said. I just, you know, when I look at my son, you know, I tell him, I'm your daddy first, I'm your friend second. You know, I mean, that's me. Because how I grew up, it was tougher, you know, South Side Chicago, you know.
All right, Philly too. All right, Chicago.
All right,
Oh, it is?
This is not about you, brother, right now, okay? This is my story, okay? No, but you know, I grew up on pork and beans and hot dogs. You know, TV dinners for Thanksgiving. You know, you got to punch the hole in the cranberry so it don't the apple. You know, real no, even on the west side.
With the mashed potatoes that were never good, no matter what you did.
The chicken would shrivel all up. You know,
The nasty
But
gravy.
those are south side of Chicago meals.
South side. Well, I know you know about Aldi's too. Boxing.
I do know about Aldi's.
You boxing your stuff up.
Aldi's is nice now. I remember Aldi's wasn't as classy as it is now. When Aldi's first came out, they had all the sodas that just said grape.
Right. No, I forgot what I was saying. I got off track. But yes. So the thing
Listening.
is father first, friend second. So my thing with my son is he's raised a little different than how I was raised, you know. And I tell him this, he'll tell you, I tell him this every day. You know, the real world is different, son. When you get 18 and you get up out there, I don't want no surprises for you to be surprised and say, Dad, it's tough. You know, because, you know, he has nannies now. He goes to the best private schools and, you know, he's first class flights. He knows everything about all that. But I also try to ground him. I try to ground him on reality that, you know, that stuff is now, but you got to work for what you want too. When mommy and dad can't do that for you or not doing it, and I try to instill that into him, you know, of just real life, and he has to work for everything, right, son? Huh?
Yeah.
My kid's flying coach.
Flight coach? No.
I said my kids.
Man, I remember me and Cree were going somewhere. We were going to Trinidad, and we couldn't get a first-class flight, like, going, but we still wanted to make it. He was like, Dad, we're flying coach. He didn't even want to go. He was so mad.
Look, that's why it's, look,
He was so upset.
I got money, you don't have money.
That is, I
I
say
pay
that.
for everything.
I love saying that. Like, I have money, you don't have nothing. Yes. You have nothing.
And it's like us as fathers, we'll give our kids, and I'm sure y'all too, y'all give y'all kids anything. But y'all, you know, they don't know how hard it is for us sometimes, but they just think it's, you know, that they could just get everything and it just comes easy. But we have to sacrifice. We got to get out there and grind. We got to work hard. So I let him know that I got to work for this and you have to work too. Like he has the best basketball trainers and he wants to go to the NBA. That's a dream of his. So I put him in position like with agility trainers, basketball trainers. I tell him about dieting, and I send him a list of everything he should do weekly from stretching. And it's like I got to do extra because I am not in the house right now, but I stay 5 minutes away. But I'm more present than I was when I was there, if that makes sense. Because I have to be that, and that's just the type of person I am. So
It's interesting too. Like
yeah.
real quick, Cory, like being a long distance dad, you do, especially after divorce, like you kind of you have to step all that up. I think the conversations and like hearing more about their day. It's interesting when they're in a home with you, and you kind of go through the motions of picking them up, feeding them, and all like. But when they're not, you actually do have to do all the other stuff. Because sometimes even with all the stuff that's on the moms, especially when you're co-parenting with somebody, you know, somebody kind of got to be the listening ears to hear about some weird 13-year-old relationships that you don't care about. You know what I mean? But you listen to that, and I got a question too, just for all of us here too, just real quick. I ain't supposed to do that, but since we here, because I'm just thinking about this because I like hearing other dads' opinions on this too, like especially raising sons. You know, something that became really important for me, and it's something I learned later on about myself, and I think this is a better way to raise some of these boys to look at things differently. I started raising, especially Judah as my oldest, to respect his own body because I believe that it helped him respect other people's bodies because I wasn't raised like that. And I know this might sound not crazy, but like growing up, a lot of us was raised to like say for instance, there's a lot of boys who lost their kids here, but virginity probably before they wanted to, but felt the pressure because they told us we had to. Like if she's gonna offer that to you, then you're supposed to, you know what I'm saying? And so I took it on myself, you know, with my children. It's something I learned later on in life. It really is weird when I learned it. I learned it through therapy, And then when I finally actually stood up for myself and my body one day, it was kind of weird. I was on like one of them bay trips with one of my exes, and we got to an argument, and she still wanted to do it. And I was like, it's my body, and I don't want to do it. And I stormed out. I really stood up for myself. I was walking down the hallway like, did I just do that? Had my little robe on. I had it. But I thought about like, wow, if I had that much earlier, it's so many things I would have did differently. And I realized probably a lot of young men never really was told that like your body is just as valuable. Because we teach our daughters that, but we don't necessarily teach our sons that, to respect their own bodies in a way. And I think to me that will help. I think it will help even just the way they look at women and their bodies, and not just from this thirsty perspective or feeling they have to do something. Do y'all feel the same way about that? Or?
I do, and actually this is where I have to give my wife Cody a lot of credit, because I love you, wife. But it's something that we talk about and she's talked about with them forever. And so not stigmatizing the word penis or vagina, talking about your body, and it's your body, and you can say no to anybody. You don't have to hug somebody. You don't have to do whatever, even if it's us. And so she's very intentional about that, and I'm supportive of it, even if it's a little weird, because like we fight all the time, as in me and the kids. We fight, we wrestle, we do things, and then they try to weaponize it where we're fighting. So little buggers. And so that's
You just say buggers?
Yes. They're little buggers.
That's the first black man I ever heard call his kid little buggers in front of people. That's cool.
What you trying to say?
That's beautiful, brother. It's beautiful.
But ultimately, I agree with you. I think that it's just the importance of being intentional in parenting and instilling the value of oneself in so many ways. And look, I mean, for me, it manifested in different ways. We're growing up in the hood in Philly. So many of us did not expect to make it to adulthood. And so it changed the way that we interacted with people. It changed the way that we carried ourselves. It changed the way that if you bump me, then all of a sudden it's all these other things, instead of, no, your body is valuable, my body is valuable. And the idea of just getting into a fight, what that could do, we're fighting on concrete. That shit ain't safe. But if you don't value your body, if you don't, like how many times, like just like,
You get body slammed on your head.
bruh,
It's like, that's not safe. Little buggers fighting on them. No, I'm joking.
oh, you want to get up?
I'm sorry. It's just so funny. Because now it's not going to leave my head that you said little buggers. Nah, it's funny.
You want to know where buggers actually came from? Actually, I don't think my, no. So this is going to be random for everybody, but it's a really good, I read a lot, and my kids read a lot. And so there was a book that I read a long time ago that my 7-year-old also read. It's called Ender's Game. And in it, they talk about the buggers. And so it's just one of those things that came out. And so that's where the buggers came from.
First of all, I get it, brother. It's like we all have stuff as that. Like I say shooby-dee-dobos, and nobody know what I'm talking about. And I've said it in movies. I've said it on stage. And people are like, where did you get that from? But it was me trying to make my kids laugh because I was jealous of the Teletubbies because they were just saying stuff. And so I was like, I'm going to say something, shooby-dee-dobos. And they started laughing. I'm like, see, I could do it. And I just wanted them to think I was funny. That's why.
But I don't know if you're going to answer, but what I was going to say before is I actually want to give you your flowers. And so similar to the way you were talking about when you got divorced. And so like not knocking anybody, but just the way in which how we present to our kids matters. How we carry ourselves matters. And there are difficult situations that will come up. And so, we've talked a lot throughout the last couple of years. And it's the way to model how to operate in hard times is not a small thing. And you have publicly led with grace. And you have publicly been above everything. And again, I'm not trying to denigrate anybody. That's not what it is. But I am just giving you your flowers because those things are not easy.
Thank you, brother. We've been brothers for a while, so and we have had a lot of conversations, and I look at everything like I say. I'm playing a whole nother game, a whole different ball game of life, right? That's just what I'm doing, and this too shall pass. That's just what I do, and I got something on my arm. It's Psalms 46:10. Be still and know that I'm God. So that's it.
Just leading with love.
That's it. And also I want my actions in my life to reflect who I am and my fruits of my life. So when you see the fruit, you know what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I don't do all that talking. It's just not me. I never was a talker. My son, I don't talk. I'm just a doer. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I live. I always say my son because, you need somebody who's like, Daddy telling everything is truthful what he's saying. Because the kids know. That's all I can tell you. And it's all love. I have love for everybody, and I wish everyone well. And, it's all love with me. That's it. But I'm on a mission of life, and that's to make sure I raise these kids so they can go on to be future, whatever they want to be. And they can look back and say, Daddy had our back. So that's all it's about for me. It's about these kids, y'all. That's it.
And what y'all can't see, which has been really sweet, is that Cree has been up here nodding and saying, that's right, the whole time. And so it's just been really sweet. And he's also just been there taking care of his little sister.
And let me tell y'all, this is not staged. I have my kids this weekend. So wherever Daddy goes, when it's my weekend, they go with me. It's me and the kids. So this wasn't come on and be in the front. No. This is what I do for real. So.
But I also get to see them as well.
Yes, and you get to see them, and
yes.
It's all love.
And that's true to you too, man. Like I think one of the things I enjoyed about our friendship, and even just when we first talked, because like I don't like being around lousy dads. Like that just ain't my.
Nope.
I really don't. And so to be around, this brother here, and we've, garnered a friendship from that, it's just because he's sincere. I think even that day we were sitting at D Nice pulled up, he added on to the emotional, masculine man conversation. No, but seriously, it was just a couple of guys just excited about being dads in all different parts of our dad, because his daughters are older, and so just talking about that was just beautiful. Even just doing this is really cool, because I don't think we do this all the time. Sometimes nobody asks us anything, the dads,
Right.
We barely get a Father's Day, you know what I mean? So
look, what was the joke where Father's Day is like number 18 out of all the holidays, where it's like nobody cares? But you know what? It's okay.
I think I got a few Starbucks, the $20 gift card from Starbucks. Yeah, Starbucks card. That's it, Dad. That's it.
So, did you ever tell Jason that he didn't break the window?
Unfortunately, Jason, why I don't want to go dark. He was on crack, so you know the result.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank y'all. I appreciate you guys.
Take care of your kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank y'all so much.
Shout out to Black Love. Shout out to my brother Tommy, y'all. My brother Rail. I love y'all. Appreciate it. Thank you.